Most people are using AI for personal finance completely wrong. They're treating ChatGPT like a magic 8-ball or a glorified Google search, asking things like, "What's the best credit card? How do I save money?" Or, "Should I buy this stock?" That is amateur-level thinking. The real financial leverage of artificial intelligence isn't getting generic, recycled text summaries. It's system design. It's building an automated, semi-autonomous financial operating system around your actual life. Imagine an infrastructure where an LLM acts as a reasoning engine over your raw data, diagnosing behavioral drift, isolating hidden investment risks, optimizing tax pipelines, simulating salary negotiations, and generating standalone cash flow intelligence reports every single week. That is not a hypothetical future. That is operational reality right now in 2026. The productivity gap between people managing money via manual spreadsheets and those building automated cognitive infrastructure is widening exponentially. Today, we are skipping the basic prompt hacks. We are breaking down the execution layers, the data pipelines, the architectural risks, and exactly how to turn ChatGPT into your personal CFO. Let's establish the foundational mistake right out of the gate, treating an LLM like a search engine. Google helps you locate static information. ChatGPT allows you to execute reasoning over complexity. If you do not understand that distinction, your systems will fail. Think about it. Personal finance is rarely an information problem. We are already drowning in infinite free content. There are millions of budgeting videos, calculators, and retirement guides online. Yet, structural financial anxiety is at an all-time high. Why? Because human execution breaks down at 4 specific friction points: organization fatigue, tracking consistency, emotional decision-making, cognitive overload. This is where large language models become a massive asymmetric advantage. They do not just store data, they reduce cognitive friction. When you reduce friction, human behavior shifts fundamentally. If analyzing tax documents becomes a frictionless conversation, you stop procrastinating. If processing dense corporate earnings reports takes 3 minutes instead of 3 hours, your decision velocity skyrockets. We aren't talking about AI picking stocks. That is a marketing gimmick designed for retail clicks. The real edge is structural, turning AI into cognitive infrastructure for your capital. Let's look at level 2 execution. Budget intelligence instead of budget tracking. Traditional budgeting applications are passive dashboards. They show you retroactively where your money went using colorful pie charts, but they lack the reasoning capability to tell you why it happened or how to change it. They track metrics. They don't analyze behavior. Here is the operational workflow. You pull your raw transaction CSV exports from Chase, Capital One, or Bank of America. You sanitize the data, strip the account numbers, and feed it directly into the context window. But instead of asking for a basic summary, you challenge the model's reasoning engine with structural questions. Analyze these 12 months of volatile transaction data. Identify structural lifestyle inflation. Pinpoint recurring variable expenses that correlate with high-stress work weeks. Flag the subscriptions delivering zero practical utility based on usage frequency, and project this exact spending drift 5 years forward, assuming an uncorrected trajectory. That last instruction is where the reality check hits. Humans are hardwired to underestimate compounding leakage. An unobserved behavioral leak of $400 a month seems harmless in isolation. But look at the architecture of that leakage. $4,800 a year. $48,000 over a decade. And that is before calculating the compounding opportunity cost of not having that capital deployed in productive assets. Most people do not go broke from a single, catastrophic financial event. They go broke from unobserved drift, the slow, silent bleed of capital that they simply lack the bandwidth to track. AI is a continuous, unfeeling pattern detection engine. It spots the leak before it compromises the hull. Now let's move to investment research compression. This is where retail investors lose because they operate purely on emotion and information asymmetry. The average investor is completely overwhelmed. They are trying to synthesize 10K filings, earnings transcripts, analyst articles, macroeconomic data, and volatile social media narratives all at once. It is impossible to do manually without treating it as a full-time job. Smart operators use LLMs as a data compression engine. You feed the model dense PDFs, investor letters, and competitor quarterly reports, and you look for the gaps. You ask, compare this quarter's gross margin trends against the top 2 sector competitors. Highlight the exact paragraphs where management uses passive or evasive language regarding revenue drivers. What underlying structural risks are retail investors currently ignoring in this valuation? This is how you manufacture leverage: speed, synthesis, and signal extraction. But let's establish a strict guardrail here. AI is an analysis augment, not an oracle. If you approach an LLM expecting it to predict market tops or give you a foolproof stock tip, you are engaging in low-level speculative thinking. Models can hallucinate financial calculations, and they don't understand real-time macro liquidity shifts unless explicitly fed the raw data. Furthermore, retail investors frequently misunderstand diversification. They think owning 6 different technology ETFs means they are safe. In reality, they often own the exact same underlying trades wearing different clothes. AI is highly effective at scanning cross-holdings and exposing hidden concentration risks, revealing exactly how exposed your capital actually is to a single sector or factor. If you are a creator, consultant, freelancer, or small business owner, listen closely. This is where cognitive friction costs you real liquidity every year. Most independent operators lose thousands of dollars in optimized deductions simply because the paperwork creates mental resistance. The sheer disorganization of managing freelance invoices, 1099s, receipts, and multi-channel revenue streams causes people to delay execution until the last minute. An LLM drastically lowers that operational barrier. When you ingest your transaction logs and invoices into a dedicated, sandboxed session, you can run automated pre-processing. Categorize these business expenditures against standard Schedule C requirements. Estimate my quarterly tax obligations based on this rolling income volatility. Identify potential deduction anomalies I am missing, and translate this complex IRS form notification into direct operational directives. Let me be perfectly direct. This does not replace a specialized CPA. It augments them. Instead of handing your accountant a chaotic, unorganized shoebox of raw receipts and paying them hundreds of dollars an hour just to sort through the clutter, you hand them a highly structured, pre-analyzed, clean financial data set. You shift their role from basic data entry to high-level strategic optimization. The most successful professionals are already using AI as a force multiplier for their workflows. If your systems are sloppy, your wealth-building potential is capped, no matter how much gross revenue you bring in. This is Level 3 execution, automated decision infrastructure. This is where we stop treating AI as a chat window and start treating it as back-end architecture. Power users aren't manually typing prompts every evening. They are leveraging automation layers like Zapier, Make.com, or self-hosted N8N instances to link their financial data pipelines directly to LLM processing endpoints via APIs. Let's look at how an automated financial pipeline actually functions in practice. The ingestion layer. Every raw bank transaction triggers an automated webhook that passes the line item to an LLM script. The classification layer. The AI categorizes the spend based on context, stripping out merchant noise and updating a private database or secure spreadsheet instantly. The anomaly layer. If a variable expense or software subscription spikes beyond an established variance threshold, a structured alert is generated automatically. The synthesis layer. At the end of the week, an autonomous script compiles the entire dataset, prompts the reasoning model for a behavioral review, and drops a concise executive summary directly into your workspace. While the average consumer is still logging into 3 different banking apps to manually verify balances, high performers are engineering closed-loop, semi-autonomous financial operating systems. the productivity gap compounds exactly like capital does. The systemic advantage belongs entirely to those who automate processing speed. Let's address a major flaw in mainstream personal finance content. The entire industry is obsessed with defensive optimization, cutting expenses, skipping premium coffee, and obsessing over 2% cashback structures. Meanwhile, the individual running that playbook is underpaid by $40,000 relative to their market value. That is completely irrational allocation of energy. Expense management has a hard floor. You can only cut your spending to zero. Income growth, however, has an asymmetric ceiling. Finance is not just expense reduction, it is income architecture. ChatGPT is an incredible tool for offensive career positioning, salary negotiation, and structural leverage mapping. You can use it to build dynamic counterproposals by uploading market salary datasets, job descriptions, and recruiter communications. Analyze this corporate compensation package against current market data for senior systems engineers. Map out the critical skill gaps preventing me from hitting the next compensation bracket. Structure a formal negotiation response optimized for maximum leverage without introducing adversarial tone, using a strict BATNA analysis framework. Most professionals approach negotiations emotionally, driven by anxiety or ego. An LLM allows you to externalize the scenario, stripping away the emotion and turning the conversation into a cold, strategic system of leverage. Focus less on skipping your morning coffee and focus more on engineering your baseline value to the market. We have established the upside. Now we must talk about the severe operational risks. Because if you build a system without understanding its failure points, you are setting yourself up for an institutional disaster. The first critical failure point is data sanitization. Do not recklessly drop unredacted documents into public LLM interfaces. If you are uploading tax forms, invoices, or statements containing social security numbers, corporate EINs, routing sequences, or private access keys, you are exposing your most critical attack surfaces. High performers sanitize data aggressively, replacing sensitive strings with symbolic identifiers before running an analysis. The second failure point is mathematical hallucination. LLMs do not calculate math inherently, they predict token sequences. While current frontier models utilize Python code interpreters to run background calculations, a simple formatting anomaly in a raw CSV can still cause an AI to confidently output hallucinated totals. Never outsource final compliance verification to an AI model. Use it for acceleration, synthesis, and initial drafts, not for definitive, binding financial decisions. Finally, watch out for cognitive atrophy. If you rely entirely on an automated system to interpret your financial life without developing deep baseline financial literacy yourself, you become highly vulnerable. The system is designed to enhance your reasoning capabilities, not to replace your mind. If the pipeline experiences an infrastructure failure, you must still possess the fundamental expertise to audit the engine manually. Here is the absolute reality. Artificial intelligence is not going to magically hand everyone effortless wealth. What it will do is create an insuperable systemic advantage for organized people who understand how to build systems. The ultimate winners in this shift will not necessarily be the individuals with the highest starting capital or the most complex trading algorithms. The edge belongs to the operators who use AI to eliminate cognitive friction, manufacture absolute visibility, automate low-level repetitive data entry, and increase their overall decision velocity. We are still incredibly early in the life cycle of automated cognitive infrastructure. The tools are here. The data pipelines are open. The execution is entirely up to you. If you found this system breakdown valuable, subscribe for more technical deep dives into AI system architecture, automation engineering, and the future of human leverage. Drop a comment below. What structural financial task are you moving to an automated AI pipeline first? Let's build it out in the comments. See you on the next breakdown.